Hello everyone, this is Matt with your Storm Central video update for May 30th, 2011, Memorial Day. We have quite a situation on our hands for today. Taking a look at the latest computer models here. We're going to go to the first one. And this is looking at the instability in the Cape and where the most moisture is in the air here for severe weather and tornadoes to occur. It's showing the most moisture would be in this area here. And this is the RUC model, RUC. This is showing the most moisture in northeastern Nebraska and northwestern Iowa. Now if we go to the other model here, now this is showing here, and as you can see, this moisture is just flowing all the way up from the Gulf here, streaming northward everywhere here. It's reaching all the way into the UP of Michigan, all the way up here. And as we can see, most of the area in the United States and central United States where they're expecting severe weather will be extremely humid with the moisture, the dew point, and the height in the air here. As you can see, also it's coming off here and going this way, also into portions of the New York area, Pennsylvania area, and Massachusetts. Excuse me here, could not say that. Massachusetts area. Now if we go to the other model, this is showing the shear in the atmosphere. Now this is the GFS, I believe, GFS model. This is showing the most shear in the air is to be in portions of southwestern Minneapolis and portions of South Dakota and portions of Iowa here. Now we've composite that all and taking this all into effect, as long as the temperatures, and we're thinking the best chance for severe weather, going to the severe weather map, would be in these portions of the areas, stretching down from here all the way over here. We're not going to go much more south here because we're looking at more of an isolated chance. This is looking for the best chance for severe weather without in the slight risk. Now we're looking at isolated severe risk here. There's a cap in place for these areas over here. So we're looking at more of an isolated severe weather event. Now for this area here, we're going to go back to that one. For the best tornado outlook here, we're going to give it in this sections right here. That looks to be the best area for tornadoes in that area right there, with the most shear, the most instability, and the most vertical height in these storms, which will cause tornadoes to rotate as we speak on once the heating of the day becomes hotter. Now also, with the moisture flowing northward, let's get the arrows going here. The moisture is flowing northward all the way. We're doing this on demand here, we've been asked. Here, the moisture is flowing northward, okay. So we have the low sitting about right here. Let's go back to paint. We got the low here. And then you have a warm front lifting northward. That's setting temps in the 90s all the way up to Chicago. Portions of the UP of Michigan is in the 80s to 90s here. And we have 90s all the way up here. So with that moisture, and you have humidity streaming northward, dew points in the 70s and upper 60s, that's a clash for severe thunderstorms. And with the rotating storms with instability and shear, you're looking at a tornado outbreak definitely for this portion of the area where I have circled here is looking like the greatest threat. Now we're going to erase all this here, aside from that black circle, which we will draw in a second. Whoops. And we're looking at right here once again, like just about right there, a little bigger here, no more about right here. That looks to be the greatest threat for tornadoes area. Now we're looking at timing here. We're gonna go about, these storms will rapidly start making their way around 2 to 3 once this system gets, or the moisture in the air starts to evolve into form storms. We're looking at a 2 o'clock here. We're looking at about a 4 o'clock here, more like a 5 o'clock. That more would be right there. Okay, and then we're looking at more like a 10, 11 o'clock event here. Now these could change as if the storm move slower as storms develop, not as fast, or they develop rapidly here, and how fast they move. And we're looking, by the time it gets to around 7 o'clock, we're looking at a linear line stretching from about right here on upward to here. We're looking at a linear line charging to about right here, and then they will start to die out. Now we're not looking as much of a severe weather event here once you get into Iowa, portions of eastern Iowa here. Alright, we're going to go to the Storm Prediction Center and see what they have this take on this for a second here. Now they have a moderate risk out for these areas, and this is showing the areas here in moderate risk. We're looking at portions of Minnesota, South North Dakota, and Nebraska, and just the corner of Iowa. Now if we look at the tornado, this is showing just a little different than we're saying here, but I don't think it's going to get as high as into Minnesota. I think it'd be more into South Dakota, North Dakota, and portions just the corner of Iowa. Right where it's circled is looking like the greatest threat for tornadoes, with the instability and shear in the air. Now, in atmosphere. Now, for the wind threat here, you're looking at quite a big wind threat, and it seems maybe if the line would tend to bow out in places, that's showing is in a little bit of a bow here. This is showing 45% wind probability and hail. We're looking at not a huge hail threat, 30% probability. Now I'm going to go into the next day real quick here, and we're looking at portions of Chicago, portions of Milwaukee, Detroit now included, Marquette, Michigan, Green Bay, just outside of La Crosse for severe weather threat. Now I'm not thinking a huge threat for these areas, but I'm thinking a minimal threat. And no, excuse me here, wrong place. Now we're looking at this area. It looks to be affected by the most chances for severe weather that storms could come to tornadic, which could include a little more here. I think in Illinois you won't be spared from the tornado threat, but it looks a little more slower than in portions of southern Michigan and eastern Wisconsin. So I want everyone to keep their guard up. We'll have a video on that for this area tomorrow, and later tonight. Here's probabilities for this area. I just want to keep everyone aware of the situation today. If I had to die a bullseye here for, this was again today's area, this is today, May 30th, I would put Sioux Falls, Norfolk. That would be my best risk chance for seeing a tornado right there. So places in Sioux Falls area, please keep aware and turn to Storm Central for the latest updates on the severe weather. Thank you once again, everyone, for watching. Let's get back to Storm Central's page. There we go. There's lots of questions coming in here. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned to Storm Central for the latest audio and video. Looking at real quick Memorial Day forecast. Find your place here, and there you go. And stay tuned to Storm Central for the latest audio and video updates. Thanks a lot. Have a great and safe Memorial Day.